A new CBS News Battleground Tracker poll puts the Democrats in a better position than Republicans to gain control of the House of Representatives in November's midterm elections. But many contests are still considered toss-ups. Analyzing poll numbers is the specialty of CBS News Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto. He's out with a new book called Where Did You Get This Number? A Pollster's Guide to Making Sense of the World. It's published by Simon & Schuster, a division of CBS. Anthony, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
What do you make of this poll?
Well, Democrats are in a stronger position than Republicans, and they've gotten a little bit stronger over the summer. Our estimate now has them at 222 seats versus the 218 that would be needed for control. But there's a margin of error on that, and there are plausible, very plausible scenarios in which the Democrats gain seats but fall short of control, and the Republicans hang on to it. You know, I already see back and forth on the internet about what this means, and people saying, we're winning and we're winning. And one of the things I wanted to get across in the book is, hold on a second, okay? Let's go past the horse race and let's look at what people are thinking and feeling. And it's August. That's the dynamic. That's the interesting part.
Yeah, I feel like your book should also be in the grocery store because it's a grain of salt. It's like, take these numbers, but here's the important grain of salt you always need. Tell us about a constituency, though, that you're looking at in the next few months that'll be really important.
Well, the women's vote really stands out here in that there are some women and some moderate women and also some Republican women who feel a little bit conflicted. They don't like how the president handles himself personally. They do like how he's managing the government, and so they've drifted a little bit away from saying that they'll vote for a Republican candidate, and I think that's one of the key constituencies to watch.
Quickly, is the worry turnout, that they won't turn out, or that they'll vote for the other team?
I don't see them crossing over to vote for Democrats right now. It's turnout, but it's also turnout on the Democratic side. There's many who say they haven't voted in midterms before who tell us they'll turn out now. We'll see.
We were all together on election night 2016, which was a long night for everybody, you know, and real nail biter. People said, well, that proved that the polls were wrong. But were they?
No.
Yes,
no.
Thank you. Explain to everybody.
No. Well, first of all, you know, this is, again, looking past the horse race and also looking past the national polls, which actually turned out to be very accurate. But what you wanted to do was go a step beyond.
Because she won the popular vote.
Yeah.
By about a percentage or two.
Yeah. But all the signs were there. Look, Republicans at the same time, a little bit like now, Republicans were talking to us in the polls, but saying they weren't sure if they were going to back Trump. Were we really shocked that they came home? They were conservatives. Democrats were telling us they weren't enthusiastic. Well, we should have understood that, but they might not show up. And in fact, they didn't. So while it did surprise a lot of people, if you saw the whole picture, and I like to think that our viewers got a lot of that story, maybe you weren't as surprised.
Yeah, people underestimated the margin of error, that's for sure. Last week, we spent a lot of time talking about millennials and how, though they are very opinionated and outspoken, they're not voting. What's going to change, if anything, this election cycle?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. You know, we ask people, why don't you vote when they say that they're not going to? They're not always interested. They don't always see how politics connects to their lives. And part of what even I talk about in the book is pollsters wrestle with this, too. How do we measure that? When somebody says that they're not interested, what would make them change and become interested? So we try to get at that. When you see, and everybody should know what's in your numbers, likely voters. When I come on and talk about likely voters, that's our best estimate based on all these questions we ask. How long have you lived in a place? Do you feel a sense of community? Are you tied to it? Does that make you want to get involved? All of those things are things that we're trying to get at, too.
I love how you gave a TikTok of election night again, too, because I've been wanting to sort of revisit what happened that whole night because it was so chaotic how everything changed. And you point out here that I reported just after 1 a.m. that John Podesta was heading to the stage to tell the crowd that things were too close to call. And then I said, he's going there to say it's too close to call. And then Gayle said, is it too close to call or not wanting to accept reality?
Yeah.
And I think that was really the moment where we all realized it's probably done for her.
Yeah, you guys had some good lines. Some good lines on that.
Thank you for reprinting them because I'd forgotten them all.
Yeah. No, I went back and, you know, I was watching the tapes and I was listening from over there. And
if you learned something about how you read the polls that night and the data that was coming in, what did you learn about ways to do it better in the future?
Yeah, turnout is one of the big things. And that's why I want to emphasize that story for everybody that, you know, this year. It's not predetermined and polls are not predictions. When people are telling you they're uncertain, believe them.
Yeah.
You know,
About whether
Turnout
About
means
whether
turning
they're
out for and also not turning out for.
and not turning out for
And
right.
vote. Go out and vote.
Right, right. And there's still an argument to be had. There's still an argument to be had out there for the next couple of months.
Yeah. We could talk. I could talk forever for this about
right.
you. But anyway, Anthony Salvanto, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Love the book. Where did you get this number? Goes on sale tomorrow.